Hello, welcome. As always, we're giggling away in the the green room behind the scenes, and oh my gosh, I swear we should just not officially record these because there's so much good that happens just in our natural conversations.
Mhm.
So, a very, very warm welcome to my dear friend Michelle. Say hello.
Hi, Carrie. Hi, everybody. I'm so excited to be here. So excited. Is
Me
this your
too. Oh,
third or fourth recording?
Oh, thank you. Thank you. This is episode 3 of High Vibe Chat. So
Oh,
thank you for saying yes right off the bat. I really appreciate it.
you're
A
welcome.
little backstory about lovely Michelle. We were in Scotland together. Scotland's a 2-day event with Abraham Hicks. And wow, I mean,
Wow.
I don't know. Yeah, wow, wow, wow. And oddly, Michelle and I met by
Wow.
accident
Accident.
after the event. And that's kind of we're gonna free flow our chat like we always do because high vibes chat happen naturally, and when two or more come together in a mastermind situation, we dovetail with our inner beings and infinite intelligence, and good juicy yummy things happen. So Michelle and I both did the Scotland event, which is Saturday, Sunday. Michelle's from California, by the way, and I'm in Park City, Utah, of course. I was out and about and hitting some of my favorite places, and I went to one of my favorite new places in Edinburgh, and I plopped down outside the pub at this cute little bistro table. And can I just say, we had 4 days of 60 degrees and sunshine
Oh,
in
good.
Scotland in May, which I hear is unheard of, right? Uh,
Yes.
so I plopped down at this table, and what I learned in Scotland is everything is communal, and if there's a chair, it's yours. So I had this cute little bistro table, and I don't know how many chairs, but I was sitting there, and this cute little couple comes bip bopping in. And long story short, they sit down. They're from California, and Michelle's husband is a fireman, and we're doing all the, that kind of thing. And she says, "Well, I'm actually here for an event. My husband's so sweet. He booked me this trip, and part of our trip, we're going on to Ireland after this, but part of my trip was this convention, this
Speaker.
seminar thing."
Mhm.
And I go, "Oh, Abraham Hicks."
Yeah.
Think poor Michelle about fell out of her chair. Good thing her husband's an EMT fireman because she's like, "What the what?
Yeah.
What the what?"
Yes.
And it was your first live Abraham event, right?
It was
Like
my
in
first.
person?
It was my first
And
one. Yes. Yes. I was asking though too in the episode because number three is my lucky number. It's my favorite number. So that's the reason.
not a coincidence.
Yeah, not a coincidence, but yeah, my
Never a
very
coincidence.
first Abraham event. And the funny thing is that when I was looking on her site to, go to one of her events, she was literally down the street from me, like not even 15 miles from 10 miles from here. And I couldn't go for some reason. I had something booked. I could not make it. And I was like, wow. So then I just start going through her website and looking. I'm like, wow, Scotland, like, wouldn't this be cool? And I just sent it to my husband. I'm like, I really want to see this speaker, but wouldn't it be cool to go see her? Ha ha ha. I did not think at all. He started researching and he's like, do you want to go? Oh my gosh. So he books it. Yeah. And then from the whole time I'm looking online. I'm thinking, I really want to meet. There's got to be, Abraham people. There's got to be. And I found this Facebook group and no one was really active in the group. I put a post, anyone going to Scotland? Crickets, nothing. So I go to the event, really didn't meet anybody, met maybe one person. We exchanged numbers, and I see these groups of people just all like everybody knows each other. And I thought, man, I want to get involved with that. But the 2 days go by, and I just meet the one, and I'm okay with it. I'm happy. I was like, well, I met somebody, and what a great trip. So next day, trip is over. Yeah, we go. Uh oh.
This
oh.
is this is
Well,
like Esther's fire, which we'll talk about. Esther was doing Abraham Now yesterday, and literally her building. Oh my God, your husband's a
yes.
fireman. Oh my God, of course.
What
It was
happened?
so
Oh, I have to hear
hysterical.
that.
So
I'm
Esther was doing Abraham Now live, and we were in this second section, and all of a sudden this announcement comes on that they said to hell with the backstory. We're gonna jump to the good stuff, you girls. So here
yeah,
we go.
well, that was my husband. I forgot to put it on do not disturb, and that's my
It was
husband.
him.
That was him
He's
calling
like, hey,
from
I
from the
can feel. I think you're
station.
talking about me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But so anyways, yeah, we
Gosh,
meet.
oh,
We meet at that pub just random. I thought you were sitting with a bunch of people because there were so many chairs there and we're with our beers, like "Oh, I'm not going to ask her. I'm sure her family's or someone's coming back or friends." And then we just so happen and sure sit down. So,
sit down. Come join us. And then we happen to get around to, oh, I'm here for a thing.
mhm,
Abraham? Why, yes, it is.
mhm.
I know, I know.
Yeah,
So yeah, Abraham Now yesterday, today is Thursday, September 25th. I literally had to look at my clock there. Um, 2025, obviously. And second section of Abraham Now, and Esther and Abraham are chatting, and all of a sudden this voice goes off, alarm. There has been security, something, something. Please exit the building. And then it just kept repeating, and it was so loud that Esther had to stop talking. And then obviously, Esther's like, okay, Jared and I are going to leave the building because they're telling us we must go. And Abraham is like, this is just a drill. Nobody panic. We'll be back when they let us back in the building. And
that's
like the
so.
entire globe that's tuned in was like, okay.
Yeah.
But what was great is well, we were talking about no bagels at the bagel shop, which is a story about Luke. And then there was a forced break. And then we come back, and Abraham is explaining that this was in Esther's vibration, and contrast happens. And it was a really cool unfolding of the story with lots of intricate details, which is the way things go. Part of it was that she and Jared had to walk down the stairs because the elevators weren't working, and she's on the top floor of a high rise building, and Esther is 70 something. And they said, Esther is consciously trying to preserve her knees so that she can continue and travel and play with us. And Esther learned that her knees are better than she thinks they are, that in an emergency, she could use the stairs to get out of her building. And they also talked about the pressure that Esther feels that she puts on herself to get to events and to be on time and to make sure that we all have an amazing experience at Abraham Hicks events. And she opened the broadcast talking about the Denver event coming up, and how she may want to move location because there's a march going on at the same
Mhm,
time. And so that's the joy of Esther. She's a real person with real things.
mhm.
And anyways, it was a really really cool, in the now, in the moment, learning experience for all of us. Esther and all of us tuned in, and Abraham unpacks it for us. And
I love it.
it's yeah. I mean, we're here to. Um, Most of us are here to figure out how to do step 5 living, how to, from a daily perspective, get up, feel good, point our boats downstream, and how to
Mhm.
deal with contrast like fire alarms and phones ringing,
Yes.
and stay on track and stay connected. So
Mhm. Yes.
kind
Oh,
of what. So on that note, post Scotland. obviously you and I kept in touch and
Yes.
besties right away. But I think that's kind of the vibe that we tend to leave events with is like, wow, this was so good. I like feeling good. It feels good to feel good. And they always tell us, your lives change from the information, from shifting our mood or our point of
Right.
attraction. How would you express your POA, point of attraction shift post Scotland, and kind of what your goals are in that regard?
Well, so I mean, after that, I was like, okay, I asked and it was given. Like, I mean, I asked for a community and, and then I meet you and you introduce me to this huge global community, which I'm so grateful for. And, you were just so fun to be
Me
around.
too.
It's like we just known each other forever. It just seems like it's like we could just call each other
Yeah.
and like, what, like I'm so grateful for that. And what that made me realize was I was kind of maybe taking for granted the things that were happening, not really realizing like I'm doing those things. I need to be more aware of them. Like before in the past, maybe before Abraham, I would not have even thought like, oh, I would really like a community. Well, now, like she says, like once there's no going back.
No, there's
No.
really not. And we do have an amazing global community. When we were on break from Abraham Noah, we're all just like, okay, what do we do? And I messaged Noah, and then there were a couple of people in our general group on WhatsApp, Nora and Meta. Nora's in Oslo, Norway. Meta's in
Oh, good.
Denmark. And, it's just like, and then Noah set up this link and people just started clicking it. And all of a sudden there were like six or eight of us just chit chatting away. And
Yeah.
so, like Lorena was in Miami and was not on the Abraham call, but was like, hey, what's going on? And
Yeah.
we're like, oh my God, the craziest thing just happened. We were doing an Abraham live and the alarm went off. And now we're all just sitting here waiting for Esther and Jared to get back in the building. And then Shannon tuned in. Shannon was on Canadian cruise, and Shannon's in Boston. And Shannon's like, "What's going on?" And all of a sudden, and Jose, I don't know where Jose, but like all of a sudden, people just kept chiming in, and it was like, "This is the magic. This
Mhm.
is the." I know it's not magic, but we are all so connected in a really beautiful way. Like when we started, we are talking about masterminding as the dovetailing of us with our inner beings and infinite intelligence. And it really is this woven, always there, always on stream of well-being.
Yes, yes. And another thing was, so we're talking, right? And the event had already happened. And then come to find out we're in the same hotel. Right?
Yes, that was
We're in the same hotel. So then
yeah,
and
that
I'm
was
like,
it, wasn't it?
yeah, I
Yeah.
was like, I'm gonna go get a nightcap. Do you want to join me? Or you were already in bed, but you came down and joined me in the lobby. We had a nightcap.
Yep.
You brought your friend who was
Julie. No, Julie was like,
really,
hey, let's go to the bar. And I'm like, Julie, I am in my pajamas. She's
yeah.
like, great, let's go. You can wear those. I go,
So
I am not wearing my pajamas, but if you want to join my new friend Michelle and I, we're going to be downstairs. And Julie's like, I'll be right
yeah.
there. And like you said, the
So,
three of us just connected,
mhm,
instant friends, like we've been friends forever. And that's what happens is when you connect at that level, you just off
mhm.
and running,
Yeah, and
right?
so it would
There's
have been me meeting her. The next day, we take off to Ireland, and
hmm.
we
Which
happened to be on
she
the
was going to
plane.
Ireland that day
Yeah,
too.
she literally sat in front of me and introduced me to another friend, what's that, Mary Jane?
Hmm.
She
Mary Jane from
Mary
Ireland.
Jane from Ireland. So we see
Yeah.
them on the plane. We get off, we see them at the luggage cart, and she offers to give us a ride to our hotel. So we jump in the car
Mhm.
with her, and she gives us a ride to our hotel in Ireland.
Yeah.
I'm just like, "What? This is just amazing." So beautiful.
So two was with Amanda Patty from Ireland. And remember her husband Matthew was on stage
Mhm.
on Sunday. And I was coming back by myself from dinner Sunday night and I bumped into them on the sidewalk and I had recognized Matthew. And it was also this instant connection and this instant high vibe chat where you just are plugged you just plugged
Mhm.
in and off you go. And
Yes.
Canadian cruise, that's one of the things that we were talking about. My question was about Esther's 10 processes in the morning, and they're saying, look, you guys, when you're tuned in, your magnet is so strong and powerful. People are just drawn to you. If they're anywhere in the vicinity, even though their inner being's been trying to call them into the vortex and the stream of well-being, that we're magnets and people are drawn to us, and it's just the stream, and it's powerful
I love it.
and juicy and delicious and amazing, right?
It is. It's fun. It's fun. And then so now I look back. I think we had this one conversation one time because I think all of our conversations have been like over an hour. Because
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
right, from one thing to another. But I kind of look back and as I'm talking, I'm like, oh my gosh, then this happened and this happened and this happened. Like in my life, not really realizing what I was doing. But if I look back and I think about the feeling I had when I manifested that thing, I'm like, okay, there it is.
Yeah. Yeah. And so that's it. So then you look back and you go, okay, I remember the feeling, and then I remember it happening, which we're calling connecting the dots lately. And then you're like, okay. And if it was something small, then we go, okay, that was child's play. But okay, so I did this, and then that happened. And
Mhm.
we're connecting the dots, right? And sorry, I keep looking over here. Um, and that's it, and that's what they're talking about as of late is the feeling. Find the feeling of, give it some thought, tune in again, find the feeling, give it some thought. And I think part of this bigger conversation is that when we continue to hang out with high vibe friends who are on a daily basis, focused in this direction of, there's a stream of well-being and I want to be in it, and
Mhm.
I have an inner being and I want to develop that relationship with inner being, and I want
Right.
to hang around others who are as well. It's
Mm.
addictive, right? Feeling good is addictive.
Yes, it is.
That
And it's very addictive and the awareness of not feeling good seems to be stronger. Like,
Yeah, our emotional, yes, the
right?
emotional, yeah, once you dip below 7 contentment, you're like, excuse me, you're like, oh, that doesn't feel good. And like you said, it's you can't go back, but instantly you're like, okay, wait, I'm doing this to myself. I'm pulling my
I
own cork underwater.
right. I'm doing this to myself.
Yeah. And I think we talked about this the last week or the week, who knows, but it's easy to do that. It's the 98, 99% of the world does not have this understanding that we're growing and learning and
Right.
understanding. And they said that at Canadian Cruise. They said, "You're an anomaly." There were
Mhm.
200 of us sitting in that room on the cruise ship, which is a little bit unusual. There were 2,000 people in Scotland, and I think Caribbean Cruise was probably closer to 2,000 people in Scotland.
2,000 were in Scotland. So that
Mhm.
makes me even like, okay, 2,000 people, and I'm in randomly in Scotland, and I run into you. I mean, that's come on.
The day after most people have
Yeah,
gone home or gone to
yeah.
Ireland,
Not
or
at
yeah,
the event,
yeah.
not at the convention center, random,
Yeah.
meet up at a pub
Yeah.
far away.
Yeah, so yeah, they said, and I remember it very clearly because I was having those feelings of, you get all tuned up and you hang out with your high vibe friends, or you have a good meditation or whatever it is, and then you go out into the real world and
Mhm.
you're like, ouch, oh, oof.
Yeah.
And you're just like, oh my gosh, why? why? And so it is easy to kind of slip back into
Mhm.
our old ways. And so to have good friends and good conversation and good communities and
Right.
ways to tune back in, and
Exactly.
also too we're doing so much more. Like we have several people who are writing amazing songs, and I call them vibrationally accurate. That's fun when you can, or like a book that's vibrationally accurate,
Mhm.
where it's tuned in, tapped in, and um, that's
Yes.
powerful, isn't it?
Yes. I mean, even like you told me about, you met that couple that's from Japan and
Oh yeah, Rachel and Co.
and how they're taking the work. I've been telling my husband about because we booked our flights to Japan. We're going in November. Yeah, right?
Yay,
So we
well
so
introduced.
yeah, and but like the fact that you're saying they're taking the work and like teaching their culture, the work, or teaching their, like
Yeah, so they
amazing.
translated. Rachel is a professional MC, if you will, TV radio personality from, I would say way back, but then she'd be like, Carrie, not that old. But anyways, I digress. Anyways, they help translate. Ask. She's a professional translator. There you go.
That's
They're
so cool.
helping me out here. They're
Yes.
saving me from myself. She's a professional translator. Her twin sister lives in Hawaii, and she also is a translator, a Japanese
Oh, wow.
translator. But yes, so they help translate Ask and It Is Given. And Esther and Abraham announced on Canadian Cruise the new book is finished and it's in editing.
Ooh.
And so Rachel may be involved in some level at also translating that new book into
Oh, wow.
Japanese, which is incredible because I just take for granted, like, oh, don't we have AI for that? And doesn't every language have it? And the answer is no, no, and no. One of the things that she said in the Ask and It's Given, they do not have the 22 processes in the Japanese version of the book,
Mm.
something to the effect that it just doesn't translate. And then Dina, who's in Colombia, she coaches women and is Spanish speaking. She also translates the work and re
I love it.
messages it, purposes it. And she said the same thing, that in the Spanish version of Ask and It Is Given, it's also truncated and not the
Hmm.
same as the English version. So I think it's interesting how. For me personally, as an English speaking American, sometimes I forget that things are not the same and readily available. Even Napoleon Hill, when he wrote Think and Grow Rich, it was truncated and edited to the
Mm.
point that he re released it as time went on from the 1930s. Um, I think it was 1930s, could be
Mhm.
1950s. But anyways,
30s.
he re-released the original version,
Oh,
unedited
wow.
version. So yeah, it's quite the global connection we
Yeah.
have, and it's rewarding. And to know that, what's the word, that we're one.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
yes. Yeah, I wanted to say also, like, just like, our humanness. We're human, so we're gonna go back to, like, the feelings of, not feeling good. I wanted to just touch on that again because, you say you go back into the world and you're kind of like, but I think that's just a part as part of being human, right? But now that we're aware of that, we can control that. I think that's
Yeah, I and like Esther, like the alarm is going off. She and Jared have to vacate, and Esther is thinking, I don't know if my knees can do these stairs. And she came back, and I'd have to check my notes, but it was something to the broadcast. which I don't think she had to climb back up for the record.
Oh,
I
no.
think the elevator was working, and but she came back, and Abraham was saying that it provided a lot of clarity for Esther.
Mm.
Even though it was a step one moment, it
Mhm.
provided a lot of clarity. And I think that's kind of what you're, to paraphrase what you're saying, is that one, it's contrast and then clarity, contrast and
Right.
then clarity. And Noah's video was on Abe Now yesterday, and his question was kind of that, like, Abraham, I'm bipping, I'm bopping, I'm having a good time here. Life is good. Why do we have to have these step one moments in
Mhm.
people? Why can't it, And it
Mhm.
was a really great question, and we can all relate to it. And I can't remember if the question was before, I think it was after the stare and the fire alarm, but they basically said, because we're here to live life, because we're not supposed to have their nest, and it's not supposed to be all perfect. We wouldn't want it that way. We wouldn't want it to be that way. And one of the things they said on Canadian Cruise is, you like to get hungry and you like to satiate yourself.
That is a great analogy.
I know it hit me. I was like,
Yeah.
isn't that the truth?
Yes.
It feels good to be really, really hungry. Like, have you ever had dinner reservations and you're super excited about it, and you're thinking, "Oh, I'm gonna eat light all day because I really want to
Yes.
enjoy this meal." And I thought, that is it, isn't it? We
That's
don't
one.
want a feathered nest and an even keel. It's the contrast that makes it juicy.
Right. Yes, I love that analogy. Yeah, I can
Think
wrap my
about getting dirty in the garden or sweating or working out, and how good that shower feels.
feels. Yes. Yes, that is
Yeah,
a great, great way to look at it, and I think that's how we grow, right? That's how we grow.
expand,
Expand.
expansion. And like you had
Mhm.
mentioned earlier, you said after Scotland, you had looked back on a couple of life events and then connected the dots and went, "Oh, I did that." That's what they're teaching us currently about expansion, you
Yes.
know,
Mhm.
this and then that. And
Yes.
it's expansion. And a couple of people lately have been coming on Abraham Now and asking a clarifying question, right? They'll say, "Okay, last week you said this, and then this, and then I just wanted to clarify, blah, blah, blah." And they're like, "We love this. We love that you guys are taking things from," I call it education, I call seminar, or listening to Abraham, whether you're listening to the YouTube or
Mhm.
whatever. I think of that as the education component, because words don't teach, right? And
Mhm.
then we go out and we live some life, and then we connect the dots, and then we have new questions, and then those questions get answered, and then we have new questions.
Mhm.
That's the expansion that they're
Yes.
talking about.
Yes. I love it. Just the awareness too.
I'm going
And
to
then you
close that blind because it's driving me crazy to keep talking.
yeah, I mean, you can kind of see it in other people, without preaching, we learn these things and we want just everybody to know about it, right? When I got into coaching, I just wanted everybody to know the method. And then
Yeah.
I realized not everybody wants to hear it or is ready to hear it. So I had to dial it back and it was like, okay, stop coaching people who aren't asking you for coaching.
I think we all do that, like, right? You
Yeah.
have a heart of the teacher and you really passionately
Mhm.
want to share. Me too.
'Cause
We're
you want
so
others
eager.
to feel good. You want others to know there's a
Yeah.
system and a way to feel good most of the
Yeah. 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 I totally agree. And again, look at the fire alarm experience with Esther yesterday. Like, we never stop learning and growing, and I love that. I think I told you the jewelry and the coffee story,
Mhm.
but I really liked it. So they started Canadian Cruise with this story. So Esther comes into Boston a day or two early or whatever, has a really great night's sleep, and decides that she wants a cup of coffee in the morning. Esther had taken off all of her jewelry and put it on the whatever, the counter, the
What happened?
Sorry, sometimes I get distracted. Like my niece says, she goes, "Squirrel!"
Yeah,
And on carries off
right.
like on a different
Yes,
thought.
same.
But
I'm
so
getting
I was
delivery right now.
I was
So
trying to come up with the word for Chester drawers or whatever you think that you call that thing in the hotel room. And I was hearing bureau in my head, like a dresser, like a
mhm, mhm.
bureau. And
Right?
I just could not spit the damn words out. And I'm just like, okay, I just gotta go.
That's so funny.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Anyway, so there she was. She put her jewelry down, and there's the coffee maker. And Esther perfectly measures out the water. Esther knows how to run a coffee machine. And she receives an inspiration or a nudge or a thought, I should move my jewelry. And she doesn't. She turns the machine on, goes into the other room. She comes back, and the jewelry's floating in coffee. And Esther's like, I did that.
Yeah.
I did that. And as later on, Esther's friend, when she was telling her about it, was like, well, as it turned out, what had happened is the coffee cup was the housekeeping and put the coffee cup upside down. So when the coffee started to come, it just went everywhere. And Esther's friend is like, well, why didn't Abraham just tell you to tip the coffee cup over? And my inferring, my understanding of it is that we're always being guided. Our inner beings, like, hey, you should move your jewelry. Hey, there's a pothole up there. Maybe you should. And we're either listening or we're not. And it's not the end of the
Mhm.
world.
Right.
And it's not that big of a deal, but it's always there.
Yes.
And the more we can tune into it, the more downstream and easy
Yeah.
life is. But I love how Esther had Esther's probably like, I could go for, less content. No, I don't think she would say that.
Right.
I think Esther loves living her life. And I think Esther
Mhm.
willingly and graciously and openly lives her life so that we can learn and grow.
Yeah.
And then we get our own lessons and we go, oh, that this makes sense because I
Like that.
remember Esther and the jewelry and the
Right.
coffee. It makes
Mhm.
more sense in our head, right?
Mhm, mhm. And like you said with that whole alarm thing, I mean, it could be that she needed to know that her needs were better, that there's a reason coming up, that she needs to know that she can do
Yes.
things that she thought she couldn't do, or, you know.
Yeah. And two, I think there was some clarity, and I'm paraphrasing here for Esther, obviously, and what they said yesterday, but in the beginning, she was talking about, so she and Jerry talk in the morning, and she's a really fast typer. So Esther will type her question or to Jerry, and then she'll
Love it.
receive the message, the word, not the words, the message, the response back
Mhm.
to Jerry, and she'll type it out. And
Mhm.
so it was really cute yesterday. She goes like an email, like because she said something about Abraham said something about Esther got Jerry's response, and then Esther's like vibrational mail, not an email, but a vibrational mail.
Wow, I've never heard that.
Yeah, that's how they do it. She'll type out, so blah 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 blah. And in this case, she was concerned about the Denver event. So she was typing to Jerry, concerned about the Denver event. And Jerry typed back that, there's only a stream of well being, and I think Esther, it sounded like, was trying to argue her case to Jerry about,
Mhm.
but da, 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 da. And basically the message back was, suck it up, buttercup.
Yeah, in a V-mail.
In a vibrational
A
mail, a
V-mail.
V-mail.
I love
Yeah.
it.
And Esther was like, yeah, I'm worrying about things I need. There's no point in worrying. And here's Esther,
Yeah,
who's 70 something and has been doing this work for 40 years with Jerry. And
and
Esther's worried about an upcoming event.
what
And
was the
Esther's worried about her knees and keeping
uh-huh,
her knees good so that she can continue to work with us. So yeah, I think
wow,
yesterday's event was so
yes.
multifaceted, like a prism. We can't unpack. But those were a couple of things. She's like, um, Abraham said Esther very much worries about being at events and keeping her word and being on time and make sure it's an amazing experience for everyone who
Yeah.
shows up. And so, yeah, yeah, it was, I think, again, very multifaceted.
Mhm.
And me personally, I just love hearing these stories because I could almost always attach it to something in my life, right? It's like,
Mhm.
yeah, I worry about too much,
Mhm.
and why do we worry? And
Yes.
you know
Mhm. But just that's so interesting though. She talked about that at the beginning before the alarm about her worrying
in
about
the
all that.
very beginning,
I think
the
that's why.
first email that she read from a viewer um, was very heavy and out of alignment. And I think as they were talking about it, one of the stories they offered is that Esther was worried about some things and was emailing with Jerry.
Mhm.
The message that Esther got from Jerry was "suck it up, Buttercup," because our inner being and source energy is never going to leave where they're at, come down with us
Right.
to worry or victimhood
Mhm.
or
Yes. Yeah.
it's
That's
it's
beautiful.
an inside job. We have to find the alignment.
I love that. It's an
And
inside job.
it's an inside job. I'm sure that's Tony Robbins or something like that. Roan, Jerry's like, I said that. I'm like, yeah, I bet. Um, yeah, and they even said that as they were wrapping up the first email, and it was really heavy. This person is was genuinely struggling, and they said, "Look, we can talk to you. We can give you words. We can offer vibration. We can call you. We can offer the distress emotion, calling you to, like letting go of the cork, let it float. But we can't pick your point of attraction for you."
Mm.
I used to joke around and say, my trainer's not going to come over and slap food out of my mouth.
That's another good one. Yes. Right.
So, and that's it. And I think we all, it's funny because we get it because we go,
Yeah.
oh
Mhm.
yeah, we
Yeah.
get it.
You can relate to that.
And that's it. And that's the other fun thing too about this work is that there's nothing serious going on here. Yeah, there are some serious things in life that we attach a lot of negative emotion to or heavy emotion
Mhm.
to, but the reality is there's nothing serious going on here. And if somebody ever gets in the hot seat and they're distressed and they're like on the emotional scale somewhere down lower, Abraham is always leaning. So they come with a question, which is this end of the stick, and the answer is on this end of the stick. So they're always leaning. And I sometimes feel like, oh, Scotland was a good one. The guy who was in the hot seat with the flowers
Yes.
when Esther, yeah, like I feel like the whole crowd was like
Yeah.
leaning, and because we have no resistance to, right? The person in the hot seat has
Right.
personal resistance to the topic, which we all do, right? Like on our top question, whatever it is. But I feel like I almost feel like I can just feel the room on tilt
Yes.
because we're all like, come over here.
Right. That's exactly how it
Ah,
yes.
right? That's
Yeah,
how it feels, doesn't it?
exactly how it felt. Mhm.
Because once you've been over here and you know how good it feels, it's like this ginormous magnet. It's like a magnet the size of the sun, right?
Yes, yes. That was such a powerful conversation. And
Which one?
the roses. I put roses
Hmm.
on my vision board up there. A big just picture of roses, beautiful focused roses, because I always wanna remember that conversation.
I think because I think that number one, I think they picked him because they knew his ability to move his own needle, whether he got all the way there or not.
Mhm,
I think they picked him because he was close, and they say that. They say, Look, if we think you're close to that tipping point, that's something." And again, masterminding is coming together with your so let's
mhm,
take two people and re-explain it. And I know that I've explained this every single call, but I just think it's really important. So let's take Michelle, and Michelle has an inner being, and then there's Carrie, and Carrie has an inner being, and when we combine, we are in a what we're calling masterminding. We are hooking up to the master mind, the stream of well-being, infinite intelligence. And what they talk about is that I have resistance. Okay, so here's Michelle and inner being, and me and my inner being. We'll put me here on this bottom rung here. Um, Whatever I have resistance to, it is softened when I come together with the greater
mhm.
whole, and we dovetail. And so when people are in the hot seat, like this guy with the roses, your ability to hear it differently because of everybody leaning in the
Right.
room, it really does move the needle a lot, or the potentiality
Mhm.
to yeah, it's strong. It's
Yeah.
strong. It's like, I mean, if you think of you and I as magnets in Scotland, it's like it's strong.
Yes. Very strong.
That happened to me 3 times, by the way, in Scotland after the event.
That
3
is
different times, it's like Abraham people,
that is
and that's what they said to me on Canadian cruise. It's like, "You are strong, and you are attracting the
correct.
good things, and you're attracting people and things you don't even know.
Mhm, mhm.
Just do your best to be in the stream of well-being.
Yes. Yeah.
Watch it unfold."
'Cause I think that conversation was also for, yeah, the whole audience, like you just said, like, that
Oh
rose,
gosh,
it
yeah.
was for the whole audience to just really I mean, as much as we wanted him to get it, I think it
Yep.
just really cleared everything for us to be like, "Whoa,
It
okay."
was passionate. When she grabbed the
Mhm,
roses, it was passionate, it was relatable,
mhm,
and it was something that people could find the feeling of. They needed a gesture because everything is about finding the feeling of. And
mhm.
even after the fact, it's a story that people can find the feeling of.
Mhm.
It's very relatable on a global
Right.
scale.
To just I mean, the message to me was just, "Enjoy the fucking roses."
When she started like shaking them, and I was like,
Just enjoy
ah!
them, though, like, don't ask how they got there, where they were, it's like, smell them, enjoy them. I loved it.
Yeah, and I will say, so I had done Caribbean cruise before Scotland, and we meet, I think, 4 times, 4 or 5 times, and, I've been studying Abraham for 20 years, but I have never experienced something so visceral, like, things are really changing in the Abe and Esther world. It was very, very powerful when
Yes.
and meaningful. Like, honestly, it didn't need words, did it? It was so powerful, it didn't need words.
No, no. So beautiful. I mean, look, we're still talking about it,
Oh, yeah.
you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So good.
It's surreal. So, um, yeah, so step 5, living and
Step
feeling good and
Yes.
contrast. I think, you know, I think you mentioned that on the emotional scale, I think our alarms go off a little bit sooner as soon as we you
Mhm.
know,
Now they
dip
do.
down. Yeah, and we have the tools. Now we
Yeah.
have all these processes and tools and friends and music and,
Mhm.
well, like you
Mhm.
just mentioned, the flowers. The whole point of after scooping up the flowers was to just appreciate the flowers.
Mhm.
right? And I would consider that a tool, if you will,
Yes.
to
Yeah, I mean, I just walk outside now, like, I just once I get in that I mean, because like I said, we're human. We are human, and it's natural, and our conditioning also is, you know, took us to, like, "We're gonna do this thing." "Oh, but wait, you can't do that." And, like, the human part of us, "What makes you think you could do that?" "No, blah, blah, blah." Nobody in our family's done that, all the little just gotta
yeah,
that's just all the conditioning from around us and stuff, so I just, like, bring it back,
yeah.
go take
You
a
break
walk.
through and yeah. I did a lot more of that lately, just we'll call it sitting with the roses.
Mhm. Yeah. Yes. I have a whole thing of roses out there that I didn't appreciate as much as I do now.
That
Yeah.
is great. Yeah. Again,
Mhm.
I think it's so relatable. We have a pond with some ducks. It's a community open pond, and I'll just sit with the ducks.
Oh, yes.
And it's like, wow, just appreciating, which is part of the I call them EEMs, the easy existing
Mhm.
matches.
Mhm.
But there really are easy existing matches everywhere in every moment, no matter where you are.
Yes. No matter where you are, I think. Mhm. And mine I love the rampage of appreciation. That's, like, my favorite tool is doing the rampage of appreciation. Yes. No matter where you're at, I think
Yeah,
do that.
yeah, I think, so my question on Canadian Cruise was around Esther's 10 morning process. The first one is the marble game, and I wasn't quite clear what the difference between focus wheel and marble game was. And I said, to be honest, I don't love the marble game. I think that I don't really clearly understand it. But the marble game is taking something that's stuck in your craw, as they say, and making 12 statements, um, kind of like the focus wheel. And they basically said it doesn't matter if you call it EEMs, opening the loop, closing the loop, pivoting, getting in the vort. Like there are all
Mhm.
these processes, and don't beat yourself up that I have to go get a pen and paper and I
Mhm.
have to do every process in this exact order. They're like, if you're feeling good, go feel good.
Yeah.
Go feel good. And if you want to fan that flame of feeling good, you're like, oh my God, I feel good. Oh, it feels good to feel good. Oh, look, a butterfly.
Right.
And then this, and then the better it gets, the better it gets. And then, and that's called momentum. But if something gets stuck in your craw, there's been saying lately, hey, do you want to chew on that so you can spit it out? Is that brilliant?
I don't think
Is
I've
that
ever heard
brilliant?
her say that. I love it. I
She
love it.
said it's her new favorite thing.
Really.
She goes, anybody who will play that game
I
with
just
her,
did right now. Of course I did.
and it's given.
Of course
Ah, yeah. And I'm like, yeah, I love that. So I've been playing that game with myself, of course. Like I'll say something dumb and I'll be like, hey, you want to chew on that so you can spit it out?
That is so funny.
And that's pivoting or focus wheeling or
Mhm.
rounding up or
Mhm.
EEMs or finding a better feeling thought. There's so much we can
Yeah.
do in the now to change our point of attraction. And POA is LOA. Like, wait, what?
Yeah.
POA is LOA. Point of attraction, your mood is law of attraction, which is drawing you in that exact moment what you're thinking about, what you're worried about, what you're happy
Mhm.
about, right? And so it is about as cliche as your kindergarten class when
Yes.
they're like, just do the hokey pokey, just be in a good mood. Like,
Mhm.
stop the stinking thinking and
Stop the stinking thinking. I love that. Yeah. I love that.
right? But your POA is
Mhm.
everything. And I
Mhm.
think in speaking about individuality and autonomy and being out in the world with others, I think that the stronger we get about our POA and our mood and our insisting on feeling good and fixing it ourselves, right? It's an
Mhm.
inside job. then we're just up here. We're just this bright lighthouse shining, and it doesn't matter what happens because we know it's BD, no big deal.
Yeah,
No big deal. No big
right.
deal. And they
Mhm.
talked about that a lot yesterday too. Just like, don't make a big deal out of anything because literally
Right,
nothing's a big deal.
right.
An alarm goes off during your worldwide broadcast. Okay, cool. Look at we were all there waiting for
Mhm.
you know what I mean? Like and like I said, it's an inside job. And I just been like, okay, Carrie, you want to chew on that so you can spit that out?
Oh, that's so good.
Right?
I'm gonna use that. Do you wanna chew on that so you
It's funny. It's like a trainer coming over to slap
Mhm.
food out of your mouth.
That's so good. Yep, I mean, we do it to ourselves.
And it's easy to get on that like negative Nancy kind of vibe.
Mhm.
And then this is what I've been working on a lot in the last 6 months is not verbalizing it because all sorts of people who are happy to get on that negative Nancy
Oh, yes, me
bandwagon.
too.
And then you're adding fire to that. And you're like, why did I even say that? Because I
Yes.
don't even want to talk about it. I don't want that. So why would I verbalize that? So I've been trying a lot more to
Mhm.
only verbalize, you know, the good stuff. And if it's
Yeah.
not so good and I'm thinking it, I'm like, okay, let's chew
You're
on that and spit it
Yeah,
out.
you're so good at that. You're so good at that. You've caught me so many times, and I've done a lot of work.
Really?
Not enough, but, like, it's always a work in progress, right? But, yeah, I think I'm being positive, and I think I'm just telling a story, and then you just, like, called me out, like, yeah, we don't need to go there." And I don't even realize that the story I'm telling is yeah. So it's so good.
It's but and culturally, who was it? Oh, Amanda Patty from Ireland. We were talking off screen about something, and she's like, the Irish are really good about um, being in their ruts. Oh, and the generational, this is how we do, like you had mentioned briefly, like,
Mhm.
oh, nobody in the family's done that kind of thing. And then I was visiting with Rachel and she said something and I said, really? And she goes, oh yeah, in Japan, this is culturally what we believe. And so yeah, and I think no matter what country you're from, we do have some really ingrained
Really ingrained.
things, and we as Abrahamers, it takes a bit of momentum and focus. They're telling me to just focus on the good, focus on the good, focus on the railroad tracks that we've laid down and where we want to go. That was one of the first things they said on Caribbean Cruise about laying down railroad tracks, and I went, hey, I get that. I can see that I have railroad tracks and they're going in this direction and this is what I want. And I know that they're there. It's a little bit easier than the seeds underneath the ground that are
Mhm.
germinating.
Mhm.
I'm like, railroad tracks? Okay, I get that. And you're either plunking down trains and adding steam to that direction, or you're
Right,
going that direction. And
right.
that was really powerful for me. Really powerful because again, it's an inside job,
Yes.
and the
It
proof happens right away, right?
it does happen right away, yeah. I mean, because with business too, like, with business, you have something you haven't done before. So, I think a lot of people fail because right away they wanna say, "Well, that didn't work. That didn't work," or "No one's done that before," but you have to go,
Mhm.
"Well, what did work? What is working?" Even though it's small, like, what is working? Like you said, you laid those tracks. What is working?
I
But we
think,
focus on what's
yeah,
not working.
yeah, I think what is working, I think, is a great that's EEMs, easy existing matches, what is working. And the other thing too is that when people set out on a journey, whether it's weight loss journey or a business or I want new clients or they want to expand, they want something, right? When they set out, you have to prepave. You have to put the tracks down before you can put the train on it. And a lot of people don't. I think they get a great idea. And like Abraham said, where do you think the great ideas come from? They come from in your vortex,
Mm,
in alignment. And Yeah, so I think I know you coach people in business, and I think that's the main thing is that unfortunately a lot of times we're dream stealers instead of dream makers and fanning dreams. Um, and and yeah, I think the first ingredient to success is mindset. Like, hey, I can do this. I can put down railroad tracks and plant seeds and or I'm pregnant with this and it's going to take 9 months or 7 months or whatever the gestation is, but I know it's there, and I know that my positive mindset and focusing forward is going to continue that, and doubt and fear are going to slow it or stop it.
Right, right. Doubt and fear, 100%. And yeah, when I first started in real estate, I wanted to learn everything now. Now, show me everything now.
Mhm.
All the strategies, show me it now. And everybody would be, and like the top producers are like, no, it's mindset. Like you have to get your mindset straight. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean? Just just
Yeah,
give me the strategies.
got the
So,
briefcase and the laptop
yeah,
and like,
exactly. Just show me how to write a contract and I'll be good. I'll figure it out kind of thing, you know? And
yeah,
no, no, not at all. It's
it's
reverse. It's 95% mindset and 5% strategy.
yeah. Yeah, that's exactly it. And without mindset, you can get there, but
Oh
it's
yeah.
a struggle. And then you're like,
It's a struggle.
why would we struggle?" So at the beginning of our notes for the mastermind link with the guy in the hot seat
Mhm.
that we co-created on. Um, he sits down, he says, "I'm a math person," and he says, "I once heard you say, Abraham, that 17 seconds of thought is the equivalent of 2,000 action hours."
Mhm.
And that's where we started the mastermind conversation with Abraham, and it's like, wow, 17 seconds of positive thought is more powerful than two or the equivalent of 2,000 action. And then you just think, this is, I can sit in my car for 17 seconds and have a positive thought. And then, like they said, and then another one joins it, and another one, and another one.
Yeah.
It's so juicy, as
Good.
always.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So great to see you.
True.
Thank you, everybody, for episode 3 and step 5 living and all the juicy stuff. And thank you, Michelle, for reminding us that we're connected and that this is juicy. And it's just the fun, right?
Mhm.
For the joy. The purpose of life is joy. And gosh, once you get a taste of joy,
Mhm. And people
that's a
around
wrap.
you that are joyful, like it's very
And you
addicting.
start attracting more and more of that.
So, I cannot wait.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Thank
Thank you,
you
thank you,
for having
thank you. I'm sure we'll do this again. I think that there's a trifecta. Is that a
me.
trifecta of you and Noah and I? I know I hear words and sometimes it just takes me a minute. Of you and Noah and I, maybe even
Oh, yeah,
crazy
that would
little
be
Lorena
that would be
for
fun.
some high vibe chat. I know it because
Mhm.
it's timing and the intricacy of the we're bipping and bopping
Yes.
and vibing and all of our inner beings are here and playing and it's
Mm.
juicy and all that good stuff.
Yes. Yes, yes,
Thank
yes.
you. Thank you
Thank
again for taking the time to connect and mastermind and reach for some leading edge thought.
Yes, thank you. Have an amazing
Mm,
day.
you too. Bye, love. Thank you.